Finest Resorts by Excellence Punta Cana, the full review. So when we were looking to book our trip down south for our honeymoon, we wanted to check for some reviews, and we checked YouTube, we checked all kinds of videos, and there wasn't really any full reviews. There were some reviews, but they weren't really that great. Little clips and not very good with regards to images. It gave us a good idea. And we did, of course, check TripAdvisor and got some reviews there as well. But I wanted to do a full review for this incredible resort that I highly recommend. 5 stars, 5.5 stars, whatever the case may be. This is by far the best resort that I've ever stayed at in my life. It was the best vacation that I've ever had for many reasons. So here is the full review. First things first, so all of the things that people look for when they're going on vacation. I mean, there's different things that everyone's looking for, and there's different things depending on who's going on the vacation. So in our case, it was our honeymoon. So of course, if you're a couple, if you are wanting to do something special for that special someone in your life, then I would highly recommend Finest by Excellence, and I would stay on the Excellence side, which is the adult-only side of the resort in Finest. We went all out. We stayed on the Excellence side, the adult-only side, and we had a swim out, which was absolutely incredible. I say absolutely incredible in every single one of my videos. My wife calls me out all the time. I just can't seem to stop because it's just, it's the only word to describe these things. This is beyond that. So if I say absolutely incredible for everything, it kind of waters down the thing. This, beyond that. So this experience for us, for me, speaking for myself, was the greatest vacation, the greatest resort, the nicest experience that I've ever had at a resort. Check-in. So when we arrived to this beautiful hotel, you're greeted by this sign that says love right at the front of the resort. You go in, and because we paid a little bit extra, and it wasn't really a whole lot extra, don't forget, I don't remember the exact amount, but it was a little bit extra for the Excellence kind of service. We had a private kind of sign-in registration. So we got there, we were brought to a special room where they greeted us with towels that you can wipe your face off. When we first got there, of course, they give you like the stuff for your hands for COVID, and they're wearing masks. But the first thing they tell you is take your mask off, which was amazing. And again, if you're going to go, I would recommend going now because there was not a lot of people at this resort. Again, I'm guessing because of what's happening in the world, but we had a seamless experience all the way through. Now, we did do, just kind of going back, we did do our research. We did get all the right documents in place. We did manage to get our PCR tests and get all of our documents in place. You have to have a scanned document to get into the country and a scanned document to get out of the country. It's a QR code. We had that all done. We had everything done in advance. The resort, the people, the staff, everybody was top notch from the second we got there until the time we came home. We used a company called Pear Tree. The folks, Martin Poirier is his name, and they've got this company, Pear Tree. I've never used a service before. I've never used anybody to help us with a trip, and this was the first time, and they were on the ball the entire time. There's the card. I don't know if you can see, well, it's kind of backwards. Anyways, it's called Pear Tree Vacations. 1-800-970-9181. They are based out of Brantford, Ontario. They were incredible. Their website is peartreevacations.com. They helped us, well, they've been helping Monica for months, literally for months, to book the perfect trip. They were hands-on the entire way. They made it absolutely seamless. The entire experience was fantastic. They took care of everything. We had no problems. They send you links. They send like everything. They take care of everything. I want to point out a few things that really stood out for me personally. The first thing is the pools. The pools at this resort are heated. Yeah, that's right. It's not the sun that's it. The pool itself is heated. It was at warm bath temperature the entire time. And it took us a day to even figure that out. We didn't even get into the pool. My wife doesn't like cold at all. And we didn't even want to get into the pool because the first day there was a little bit of rain. We went and sat in the hot tub for a little bit, but we didn't even test it. If I would have known that the pool was heated, we would have been in that thing even more than we were. And we were in the pool all day, every day for the most part, because it was, again, bath, water, temperature the entire time. And apparently all the pools on the resort, even on the family side, heated pools all the way around. Incredible. The second thing is our room. Our room was immaculate in every single way. Now, of course, we didn't check out every room at the resort. Now, this resort is only about a year old. It opened last year, a year and a half ago. So there was a few things. So obviously everything was clean, brand new, fresh. The time of the year was interesting too. We didn't go during, March break or spring break kind of a thing. We were there in February. And again, I'm not sure if it's because of what's going on in the world, but there were days, there were moments, there were hours where we had the pool basically all to ourselves. We had the beach all to ourselves. It seemed like there wasn't a whole lot of people there, even though there were people there, but everything, there was no waits for anything. There was no delays for anything. So really, beyond all expectations. The room itself, as I mentioned, very, very clean, spotless. There was a walk-in closet at the resort in our room, a walk-in closet. We hung up all of our clothes. There was a safe in the closet, the walk-in closet. There was the bathroom itself, which had the 2 sinks. It had a little cubby that you went into, the toilet itself, and then a giant shower with rainfall, waterfall, shower head. Again, immaculate, and it was cleaned every single day, spotless to perfection. I think there were people there twice a day, one for the clean-in and another one for the turn-down service at night. The room itself was huge, king-size bed with a couch, with a minibar that was stocked with Absolute vodka, with Jack Daniels, big bottle. If you're a drinker, boys, you had yourself a ton. Now, we don't drink. Those bottles stayed there the whole time. We were greeted in our room with a big bottle of champagne and some fresh fruit and some chocolates and things like that. A little note that said, welcome, happy honeymoon, all that kind of good stuff. And then the walkout. There was also a jacuzzi in our room as well. But the walkout, wow, worth every penny. So you walk out onto your deck. There was a hammock that hung over the water in your swim out. The swim out wasn't heated. That is the one thing I will say. The swim out wasn't heated in that pool, which was the pool for all the swim outs, because you go in your little section of the swim out. There's pictures and videos. You go up that little pool, and then it goes into a long pool that goes all the way up and down the whole area. Again, felt like we were by ourselves most of the time. I can't say enough about the rooms. Absolutely immaculate. Every time we went back to the room, it was like walking into the room for the first time, brand new and fresh. Incredible. So we got the pools covered. They're heated. The end. That's all you need to know. They're heated. There's events at the pool every day on the adult side. That's down at the front. We stayed away from the events for the most part. We did do some kind of a facial thing with aloe. We had a real aloe plant, and we put aloe all over our bodies. It was pretty cool. So we did partake in a couple of things, but for the most part, we stuck to ourselves at the resort. Again, I don't want to say it was empty, but there was a lot of times where we were the only ones in the pool, the only ones on the beach. When you get to the beach, now, this is what a lot of people are, going to resorts for the beach, going to the resorts for the pools, going to the resorts for the experience, the accommodations, the food, the nightlife, all that good stuff. So we're going to talk about all of that stuff today. The beach itself, when you walk past the pool and you get to the beach section, they've got the whole section kind of fenced, not really fenced off, but it's kind of sectioned off for the Excellence Club members. And when you get there, they have somebody that's right there with you. They have suntan lotion. They've got all bug spray. They got everything ready to go, towels. They meet you right as soon as you enter into the sand section, into the beach section, and they say, where do you want to sit? You pick where you want to sit. They've got beds. They've got the lawn chairs. They've got the beach chairs. they've got them all set up, and we got there and we would pull ours out into the sand so we'd get some sun away from the palm trees, away from the shade, because we were there for the sun. We were leaving 6 feet of snow here in New Brunswick, so we wanted the sun. So when we got there, we pulled our chairs up. He put a blanket down or towel down for us, and then had another towel that made for the pillow, set that all up for us. And then within minutes, there was somebody there asking what kind of drink you wanted. I, of course, don't drink, so I would order a Sprite or water, usually Sprite, because, you know, you're on vacation. You got to do what you got to do. And Monica would order her favorite at the time was this Coco Loco, which is a coconut filled with whatever kind of good stuff is in the coconut drink. And she really loved those. They were refreshing and tasted incredible, according to her. We were right on the beach. And when I say the beach was beautiful, I mean, it was beautiful. It was, the waves were crashing down. You could go out maybe 10 feet into like pure sand with waves crashing down. The waves would come over your head and then it would be at your waist. It was really, really beautiful there. The weather, for the most part, was perfect. It was roughly 29 to 30 degrees every single day when the sun came out in the mornings. We did have a few days with some sprinkles. Didn't bother us in the least. In fact, it was kind of a cool break. We spent the time, most of the time when it was raining, we were in the pool because the pool is so warm. And it would rain literally for 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, and then it would stop. And then the clouds would go, and then it would be sun. So there wasn't, you know, there was maybe a half of a day, one day, where it rained, and we were doing some other things. Anyways, the one day where we thought it was going to rain the whole day, where we booked the spa, we had a spa day that was included in the Excellence package, which I will talk about in a second. But the weather was perfect. Again, the staff, I can't say enough about the staff. From the second we arrived to the time we left, everyone on staff, from the waiters, the servers, everybody that you'd walk by, anybody, the groundskeepers, that walk by anybody there, gracias, just incredibly friendly, well-trained, well-dressed, well-groomed, just hard-working people, and there to make your life just feel like a dream. It felt like a dream the whole time we were there. So the beach itself is long. There's a long stretch. We walked miles to the right. We walked miles to the left. There's a restaurant right on the beach with swings that like look onto the sand and onto the water. We spent a lot of time there. Mostly we spent time on the beach and by the pool and in the pool. Monica spent a lot of time in the water in the swim out. Well, we both did, but she just was loving swimming at this resort, which is not normal because, again, she doesn't like the cold. It's normally not her thing, but because the pools were heated, it made it so much nicer to just be able to enjoy the whole experience. At the pool, also, the service, impeccable. In the middle of the pool, there was another section that they had these beds on. You could set the bed up the same way, and you're overlooking everything. They got people serving you every 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. They're going by. They're asking you if everything's good. What, can they do for you? What can they go get you? That kind of a thing. There were incredible restaurants. Let's talk about the food because a lot of people go for the food. When we first arrived, we weren't really sure. We arrived a little bit later in the afternoon. They had food trucks, and there was 2 food trucks. Actually, there was 3, but there was 2 on site when we were there, and there seemed to be there was a third one added later in the week. But the first place we went to was a sports pub, and it was exactly that. There was wings, there was fries, there was guacamole, nachos, that kind of thing. We hadn't eaten, so we just ordered that quick. And again, service was fantastic. The food was okay. It depends what you're looking for from a food standpoint. But from the next day on, it seemed like we did not have a single bad meal. Every morning we would pretty much eat the same thing. We would get up, we would go to the buffet, and we would have omelets. They had everything you can imagine, everything to choose from. The fruit, oh my goodness, the fruit. The pineapple explodes in your mouth. The fruit down south, and again, those of you that have been down south know this, but the fruit is incredible. It doesn't taste anything like it does here in the Maritimes, in New Brunswick, Canada. Not the same thing at all, but the fruit was fantastic. The food was fantastic. Once again, the service was fantastic, but we would do that every morning. There was a little coffee shop, cafe type thing that was open all the time. And Monica would go and get her the specialty mocha chocolata kind of a thing every day. They had homemade ice cream. They had pastries. They had sandwiches. They had drinks. They had green drink. Everything you could possibly imagine at this little cafe. So we were there every single day for that. And then at night, you had your choice of restaurants. We had to make a reservation at one of the restaurants, and it was the Hibachi Grill for obvious reasons. There's only so much space in the hibachi on the grill itself. So there's only so many seats around it. So we did reserve that, and that meal was amazing. The service was crazy good. The atmosphere was really, really good. We met some really nice people there. Again, not all that busy. We didn't wait in line once. So we tried the Mexican, we tried the Italian, we tried the steakhouse. We did it all, and we were not disappointed once. We went to a really nice restaurant that was part of the exclusive package, and I had surf and turf, so I had the tenderloin steak with lobster. The lobster's different down south than it is when you're used to, maritime lobster, fundy lobster. It's not as full, it's not as red, not bright, not thick, but it was really good. It was delicious. It was different. But the food, second to none. It was, again, I was surprised at the quality of the food. We didn't wait. We had anything and everything we could possibly want and have. The drinks kept coming. So from a food standpoint, I would give it a 5 out of 5. From a drink standpoint, I would give it a 5 out of 5. The pool, I would give it a 10 out of 5. The beach, I would give it a 7 out of 5. Again, the other restaurants where they had soft serve ice cream all the time, they had buffets all the time, they had incredible service. The staff, they go out of their way to make your life perfect when you're there. I would give the staff a 20 out of 5. They made our stay absolutely memorable for the rest of our lives. The room, I can't say enough about that room with the swim out. If you're going to do it right. Get a swim out if you want. If you're into swimming, I mean, of course, it was beautiful. It was stellar. The entertainment. Let's talk about the entertainment. Every resort has, not every resort, most resorts have the nightly entertainment. The one thing I did like about this resort compared to the resorts that I've been to in Mexico was the whole Coco Bongo. Wow, if you're not a partier, if you're not a drinker, it really gets to be annoying, the amount of people that come up to you in Mexico asking you to buy tickets to go to Coco Bongo and stay there and party until 4 in the morning. It really is. It's really annoying. There wasn't that in Dominican. In Dominican, it was a little bit different. There were people coming up and down the beach. They would ask you, whatever they were selling, they would ask you, and if you just politely said, no, thank you, they just nod their head and they kept going. There was no pressure. In Mexico, there was more pressure, kind of sales tactics and things, a little different. Here, there wasn't, you didn't feel guilty about anything. You weren't pressured into doing anything. There was a couple times people came up to us, asked us about excursions. We talked about excursions, but we decided just, again, because of our time and what we wanted to do with our time, we were limited. We didn't want to lose a day in the sun being on an excursion, and we just, there wasn't really any need or want for either one of us to go on an excursion this time. It was our honeymoon. So the entertainment, again, most of them have entertainment. Some of them are trying to get you to go to entertainment off the resort or to other places like Coco Bongo. There was none of that here. The entertainment was pretty good. It was interesting. The first night we went to a Mark Anthony show, and the guy that was Mark Anthony was really, I don't know. I got into it, but at first it took me a little while to get used to. I know Mark Anthony does the moving and the shaking and stuff, but it was interesting. The dancers were amazing. The dancers were doing their thing, and they were doing some stuff that they shouldn't have been able to do. They were pulling it off. It was good. I think the next night was Michael Jackson, and if you've ever seen a Michael Jackson on the resorts, I mean, there's some good ones. The one I saw the last time I was down south was really, really good. This guy, not as good of a lip syncer. He was okay on the mic, but the dance, and he looked like him too. Like he looked like him. But man, he could dance. His dancing was on point. The backup dancers, for the most part, were on point. They did all the great, the Thriller, the moonwalk. They did all that stuff. He did the sideways moonwalk. He was really, really good. Michael Jackson was really good. And that was a packed house. Everybody came out to see MJ, which makes sense. If you're going to go see one of the shows, go see the Michael Jackson show. There was a magician that was okay. Some of the stuff was a little interesting, but it was good. Again, it was nice to get out, and it's cool the way they have it set up there because you're actually inside to see the show. They do have shows outside too, mostly musicians singing and doing their thing, but then they bring it all inside, and it's open, so I mean you can see the outside. There's no windows, but it's all inside under the roof, and they've got incredible bar service again, and great service from top to bottom from the staff. So once again, the entertainment, most people don't go there for the entertainment, but it was good. It was a good way to spend some of the nights. There was a couple of nights where we went to bed, I'm not even exaggerating, we went to bed at like 8 o'clock because the days were so full of sun and heat and joy and love and just beauty that by the time 8:30 came, we were exhausted. We were there for Super Bowl Sunday. We were there for Valentine's Day, which was incredible. And, you know, they did it up. They had, you know, a special event for Valentine's Day. They have a Super Bowl Sunday event as well. There was a section, I want to talk about this briefly too. There was a section for kids on the non-adult side. It's Finest, but the Finest, you know, that we were in excellence is the adult only side, and right next is the family side. And they had some incredible stuff there for kids of what we could see. And we thought about the boys and Jaden. There was like these splashy, bouncy ball things that you jumped off of with water into the pools. And there was this gigantic flamingo. There were flamingos there. They were alive. There were really alive flamingos, really, really alive. And Monica loves her some flamingos. So that was a highlight of her trip. But the kids side, great pools, great little play area. Again, I don't know if it's made for kids. I don't know that would be my first choice if I was going to take the boys and Jaden, if we were going to go down south or go anywhere. I don't know that that's where we would go with them. I think it's more of an adult kind of a place. And I would recommend it definitely for you and your significant other. If there's a special occasion, if there's something, it is like A1, 5 stars out of 5, full on 5 review from me. Because of all the stuff that they just do so perfectly well. The spa was included. We didn't know what to expect with the spa. It was a thermal, it was a, what do they call it? I forget what it was. But anyways, it was this treatment that came with our, you know, with what we paid. So it came with the excellence service. We get into the spa. It is, again, you're treated like royalty when you get there. There was a guy that took me. There was a woman who took my wife into the change room, showed us how to use the change rooms, how to set everything up, use the lockers, all that stuff. And then you come out and the process starts. And you go into the thermal experience. You go into the sauna. It's just a hot sauna at first. And from there, you go, you're in there for 7 minutes to 10 minutes. Then you go into this little shower area that sort of brings your body temperature back to normal from being heated. Then you go into the steam room, which is, I love me a steam room. I was soaked, drenched. It was great. Then you come out of the steam room and you go over to another section, which we both go into, like these little cubbies, and they say, you're in there together, you get in there together. So we get in there together, and you have to take icicles, little ice cubes, and rub each other down, scrub each other down with these ice cubes. It was awesome. Then they put you in another room where you're again doing some heated stuff with water. Then they have the ice bucket. So you pull the string, the ice bucket pours all over you. You're together facing each other. So you got to do it together. You do that. Then you go across some rocks. You walk over some rocks with water spraying on you. And it's all about temperature control. So it's bringing your temperature up, bringing your temperature down, cold, hot, open your pores, close your pores, all that stuff. They have essential oils that they give you it's all over the towels, and it just smells incredible in there. And then you go into the pool, and you lay on this machine that's kind of like a bed shape, and you lie on it, and then the jets start going and it massages you. Then from there, you go under these incredibly powerful waterfalls that are falling right on the back of your neck and your shoulders, and it just relaxes your entire body. From there, you're in the pool, and you go onto this circular little number, and you stand on it, and the water shoots up out to your feet, so it massages your feet while you're vibrating and shaking with water on you. And then from there, you go into a plunge pool, or maybe it's, I don't know if I'm getting the order straight, but anyways, at one point you're going into cold water, and you go under all the way, come out, and then go into the next pool, which is warm. You go in and out. So you do all that whole thing, and it feels incredible. It feels invigorating. And then from there, they bring you into this other room, and you lie on these stone beds, And it kind of seems weird at first. It's it's a shape like this, so you're lying in it, and it's a stone bed, but it's heated. And they cover you up in towels, they cover your feet, your head, then they take a warm face cloth, they put it over the top of your face and on top of your head, then they spray your face, jaw area with this stuff that's just magical elixir from the gods, and it smells really good, opens up everything, and you fall asleep. You're just in heaven until they come and they put their hands on you and they give you a massage all in your neck and all over your shoulders, and it's just the most relaxing experience ever. And they understand that we're doing this together as a couple, and we're holding hands the whole time. We're on the same bed, and we're just there experiencing this whole thing together. And it was really, really special because it was a bonding experience that we got to share together, and they just made it so special and so relaxing and beautiful. And we left that spa on a cloud. So kudos to them for that, because I would recommend, even, I think it was $75 US each if you wanted to do that, if you wanted to pay for it. And again, it was included with our package. I would happily paid the $75. But I will say this, they need to do a little bit better job of explaining what it is, because we didn't really know what to expect. We went in kind of blind, which I'm okay with. It turned out really, really, really well. But if they explain to people what this actually entailed, I think they'd get more people to pay to go. Because even in the brochure, it didn't really explain it that well, or on the website, didn't really explain it that well, because it was bliss. It was really, really serene, and you just feel incredible when you leave there. So the spa was amazing. Again, the staff was second to none. So if you're going to go to the Dominican, and I know there's choices. Now, we had an issue leaving the Dominican. Our flight got canceled, so they brought us to Dreams. They brought us to Dreams Punta Cana. And I have to tell you this, do not go to Dreams Punta Cana. Do not spend a penny to go to that place. They put us in a room there. And again, we were there overnight because our flight got canceled. So I'm happy that they put us up somewhere. I'm glad we didn't have to sleep at the airport. But they put us up at Dreams Punta Cana, and there were bugs and there was mold. And we asked to get changed to a different room, and they said no. And it blew my mind, the horrible customer service at Dreams compared to what we got at. Now, again, we were spoiled because we were at Finest and had the best of the best service. I can't even imagine. We're going to be ruined now because you can't get better service than what you get at Finest. And I don't think you could get worse service than we got at Dreams. It was horrible. The service was horrible. The customer service was terrible. They wouldn't do a thing for us. I was willing to pay to put us in a different room. They wouldn't put us in a different room. It was like, you're here for a night. Suck it up, Buttercup, and go in this room. It was horrible. I didn't sleep. I laid on top of the sheets. Didn't even want to get into the bed because of the bugs. Stayed on top of the sheets and refused to even get under the cover, even go to sleep. I was getting bitten all night. So it was horrible at Dreams. Do not go to Dreams Punta Cana. But Finest, the best of the best. So if you're going to take that special someone and you want to go somewhere that is second to none, or even by yourself, even if you just want to get away by yourself, it is so serene, so beautiful. And again, I don't know if our timing of the year, if because of COVID or whatever the case may be, but we were basically there by ourselves most of the time. And I love that. I loved that. There were people, but there was just so much space. Like, we were sitting on our chairs by the pool, and there was like 40 chairs between us to get to the next people. And I remember at pretty much every other resort that I ever went to, you had to get up first thing in the morning, go put your stuff on a chair to reserve your chair, to make sure you had a chair in the sun just horrible. I hate that. Waits at restaurants and having to get up early to go register to get food at a restaurant. No, not into that at all. This was the experience of a lifetime for me. I haven't been to a million resorts. I'll be honest here. I've been to probably maybe a dozen. I've been to a lot of hotels. Hundreds of hotels, but resorts maybe a dozen. And this was by far the best resort, the best experience, the best customer service, the best room, the best pools, by far, the best beach. Seriously, if you're planning on going to the Dominican, if you're planning on going down south, if your choices are between Punta Cana, Mexico, pick this. Pick Finest before you, if you haven't done, go to Finest. That is my request. That is my review. That is, it doesn't get any better. So now we're ruined. I don't know what we're going to do on our next trip, but we're ruined because Finest ruined us in a great, great way. So finestresorts.com, Finest Punta Cana. If you're going down south, make sure you check them out first and foremost. You see the pictures, you see the videos. It doesn't get any better than that. So have a great trip if you're going to go down south, and tell them Jason Capson sent you.